Sir Isaac Newton by Nathan Hatton. This one is the prose, which is prescribed for our syllabus. About the author, Nathaniel Hawthorne was born in (1804) and died in 1864. He was a well-known American novelist. He was well known for dark romantic and short story writing. He was a master of the allegorical and symbolical tales. He belonged to the Puritan tradition and followed the transcendental thoughts which was present in his region and time. He utilized this in his work and he considered it as a universal human experience. Also known as one of the greatest fiction writer in American literature. He is best known for the Scarlet Letter written in 1850 and The House of the Seven Gabies 1851. Nathan Hawthorne was an American writer, novelist, story writer. See here about our lesson, Sir Isaac Newton. The present text was published in Hawthorne's True Stories from History and Biography was published in 1851. The essay is in actually a short biography which can be read as a short story about life of Sir Isaac Newton. The story begins with the childhood and shows the brilliant mind of the young Newton as he was interested in the working of mechanics and mathematics. He shows his interest by his small inventions and replicas of windmill. The story later continues with his research about the nature of light. The story brilliantly captures the nature of the Newton's personality. See here, this lesson is about Sir Isaac Newton, his early life as a student, his interest in mechanics and mathematics, where he worked on windmill. Then later on he worked on nature of light. And in this lesson, Sir Isaac Newton, we have about the personality of Sir Isaac Newton, various inventions of Newton, see here, born in 1842 and died in 1727 on Christmas Day in the year 1842, Sir Isaac Newton was born at the small village of Woolsthorpe in England. Little did his mother think, when she beheld her newborn babe, that he was destined to explain many matters which had been a mystery ever since the creation of the world. Isaac's father being dead, Mrs. Newton was married again to a clergyman and went to reside at the north with him. Her son was left of the care of his good old grandmother, who was very kind to him and sent him to school in his early years. Isaac did not appear to be very bright scholar, but was chiefly remarkable for his ingenuity. In all mechanical occupations, he had a set of little tools and saws of various sizes, manufactured by him. With the aid of these, Isaac contrived to make many curious articles at which he worked with so much skill that he seemed to have been born with a saw or chisel in his hand. The neighbors looked with him vast admiration at the things which Isaac manufactured, and his old grandmother, I suppose, was never weary of talking about him. He will make a capital workman one of these days, she would probably say. No fear, but what Isaac will do well in the world and be rich man before he dies. See here, the initial life, the early life of the Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton was born in year 1642, and in his childhood his father died, and then after his mother left Isaac Newton with his grandmother and married with a clergyman, and then after Isaac Newton was living with his grandmother. In his childhood, in his school life, Isaac Newton spent hours and hours on working of mechanics, machines, where he had a set of little tools and saws of various sizes manufactured by him. With the aid of these, Isaac contrived to make many curious articles at which he worked with so much skill that he seems to have been born with a saw or chisel in his hand. The neighbor looked at him with admiration, which Isaac manufactured, and his old grandmother, I suppose, was never weary of talking about him. His grandmother thought that one day Isaac Newton will become very rich and famous person. One day his name will be known to each and every person, as he had such a skill. Then after, it is amusing to conjecture means an opinion or a conclusion about something, conclusion or opinion about something without taking all the information. It is amusing to conjecture what were the anticipations of his grandmother and his neighbors about Isaac's future life. Some of them perhaps fancied that he would make beautiful furniture and mahogany, rosewood, or polished oak inlaid with ivory and ebony and magnificently gilded. And then, doubtless, all the rich people would purchase these fine things to adorn their drawing rooms. Others probably thought that little Isaac was destined to be an architect and would build a splendid Mansfield for the nobility and gentry and churches too, with the tallest steeples that had ever been seen in England. See here some of the predictions about the Isaac Newton's future. Some of the neighbors thought that Isaac Newton will become a carpenter in future, as he is very fond of the tools, swords and cutters. Definitely he will become a well-known carpenter. He will have the name in the carpentry. Some of the neighbors thought that one day Isaac Newton will become architect, and he will have such a beautiful things to sell. But